Hi everyone, today I'm going to do the leaves and birds on this branches page as I said I was going to in my last video. Now I'm actually in a different room today, so I've got quite a lot of shadowy light going on, which is causing me a few concerns, but I hope that it will all be okay. Now, as we did with the branches, which we did all the same colour, I'm going to do the same with the leaves. So all the leaves are going to have the same shades of green. So I'm going to start off with my Ergosoft number 52, and I'm just going to start doing these leaves, and I'm going to put a harder bit of colour towards the bottom of the leaf and a bit less towards the tip, because I'm going to pop a different colour on the end. So I'm just going to work through all of the leaves. Gosh, it's raining really hard. It's very dark outside. I've put these lights on I'm in the kitchen actually, and it's causing all these shadows, look, which isn't ideal. But I can't record upstairs today because it's the weekend and all the family are home upstairs making lots of noise. I think the children are actually recording their own YouTube videos. They've got a mainly Minecraft channel, which they call Stoby, and because it's Sam and Toby, and they're recording something there. So that I can't be in there talking. I have to be quiet. Now they're lucky they've got little microphone headsets, so when they record, they only pick up their own voice, whereas I have to rely on the camera and microphone, because obviously this is a little bit different. They record directly off their computer. I can't do that. They don't film themselves, they just film their game and then talk over the top. So I'm a bit different. Although I think the camera is making quite a noise in the background on some of these videos, and I'm not sure whether I can do anything about that really. Just seeing what you can see. We'll do all this big batch of leaves here, and there's quite a big chunk. So I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm just doing more layers towards this end of the leaf and then less towards the end. It's the same technique all the way through, one that I use a lot. I find it's a nice way to get a sort of varied colour in the leaf. And you could do it the other way, so you could do the harder colour on the tip and the dark on the bottom. There isn't really any reason why you do it one way or the other. And you can combine all sorts of greens together. You could, of course, just leave it like this and not add another colour, leave it a little bit white at the end, and as there's not a lot of space for more colour, that can work. But because some of my colouring isn't very neat, I like popping another colour on top, and it just helps to blend it out. But it's just up to you how you do it. So we're going along now. Something I have a bit of a habit of is always doing leaves green. Now of course the leaves aren't all green, and also you know, you can have the autumnal colours and things like that, of course, but also if you look at trees and leaves, something I've observed particularly with the plants is that they tend to have a little bit of dead right on the end of each leaf, and I never worry about colouring that. I'm not sure whether it looks particularly nice anyway, but if you want it to look more realistic, then just colouring them green like this isn't really the way to go. But never mind. It's not always about being real, sometimes it's just about being pretty, isn't it, and trying to make it look nice. But there are people, of course, that colour their leaves in all sorts of nice colours, and that's another option. If you don't want to worry about realism, you can do all sorts of bright colours. But as I say, I tend to stick to green. I don't know, yeah, you can change. Gosh, it's raining so hard. Looks like night outside, it's so dark. But never mind. It makes me feel nice and cosy inside because it's warm in here. I think it tends to be warm when it's raining anyway. So we're getting to the end of what you can see, I think. So I'm going to move along a little bit. My tripod's in the way a little bit. So I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to show you the bottom bit of the page very easily, but we'll work that out. I usually have my tripod done in a different way, but because I've got the light on, you'll be able to see all the shadow of the tripod otherwise. So it's a little bit awkward. It's lucky this is a small book. I wouldn't be able to really manage with a bigger one. This is a nice advantage of having a little book. I don't know if you can hear the rain on the camera. It sounds like really heavy splats. I'm glad I'm not outside. We'll do these last few up here. Now while I'm doing this, I'm thinking about what colour I'm going to do the ends of each leaf, and also what colour I'm going to do the birds. Now I did this picture in the large version of Secret Garden fairly recently actually, and did a real sort of experimental sky, which was rather fun. And I did the birds green because I based it on someone else's picture, a wonderful artist called Cherry Colours. You see her on Instagram. And I based my picture on her version. Now it didn't end up looking very much like hers. I just haven't got that sort of imagination and didn't quite know how she achieved it. I think she might have used paint. I'm not sure. Let's do these. How much of this branch can you see? All of it. We'll do this one. Anyway, so I had a go at that. And I did the birds green, but I don't want to do the birds green on this one. I'm thinking because the branches are brown, I might do them grey and black and, well, grey and black maybe. But I always have a problem with their beaks. I think this one's got his beak already coloured in black and his legs. It's always quite tempting to make them yellow. Gosh, my head's shadowing, sorry. It's always tempting to make the beaks look really yellow, but a blackbird has a yellow beak, but not all birds do. The female blackbird doesn't, and a lot of birds don't have a yellow beak. I think you can see this one. So I'm thinking maybe we should do the beaks black. I'm going to try and move this so you can see it. It's going to have to rest on the tripod, so hopefully it won't be too wobbly. I hope that's okay. And you see, I'm just doing the vine with this colour, just an even coating of colour. I'm not really going to put any shade into that. You could do it darker here and here, but I've chosen not to do that because it's so small, really. Now also there's so much green to do on this one. Now watch out for his little feet here. I don't want to colour him green feet. He's not going to be green. Let me see, what can you see? You're okay. I watched back one of my videos the other day, and it was for a bronze pot that I did. I don't think I spoke in that one. I think I just recorded it on a weekend. And normally if I do weekend recordings, I do them at my desk and I just mute the sound. But I thought I wanted to talk you through this one a little bit because the first one had speaking, so I just thought it would make sense. But anyway, I noticed that I had been colouring it in for the whole video, and I hadn't realised that you couldn't see the bottom of it. So every so often my pencil and hand just disappeared off the bottom of the picture, and you couldn't see. So I'm trying to be more aware of that, but I'm still learning. Now I think it was the beginning of August when I started making videos, so I've not been doing them that long really. I've managed to do one a day for most of that time. The beginning it was a few less, and then I just got so many ideas for videos. I just thought I would just do loads and release one a day, and hopefully that will be useful to people. So that's what I've been doing ever since. And it sort of breaks up my day as well, because I'm often at home on my own when everyone's at work and school, and I'm working. Whoops, sorry, I let go of the book and it slipped. I'm working, but it's nice to take a little break I'm going to do the second of the half the leaf in number 57. Just straighten that up, it fell over, didn't it? We'll start at the bottom. So we'll do a harder bit in the corner and lighter towards the middle. So it breaks up the day, as I said, to do a video or two in the day when no one's here. I do tend to work first thing because the children do a little bit of work before school. They've always been better able to do homework first thing in the morning. Now, we have to be a bit wary of that now they're 15, because sometimes they get homework that's due the next day, and they also sometimes lie in just because they get so tired if they're growing or things like that. So we make sure all their work is pretty much done in the evening, but in the morning these days we do a bit of revision because they've got their GCSEs this summer, and mocks coming up soon as well. So anyway, while they're working, I work, and then after they've gone, I keep working, and then when they come home and do their homework, I also work during that time as well, because I think it's fair if I'm making them work that I should be. And I'm a freelance writer. I just write at my computer while helping them and give them a bit of a hand if they need it with their homework. These days they don't really. But if they're revising, I sometimes sort of help them to think about how they choose what to revise, and tell them where the revise guides are and things like that. So give them a bit of a helping hand, because I remember how difficult revising is. So you can see that I'm just colouring every leaf in exactly the same way, with a more pressure at the tip, bringing it down towards the middle. I hope you can see, good. I'm going to pull it down a little bit. Oh gosh, I knocked the whole table then, I'm sorry about that. I'll just do this little one first, 'cause this branch is quite easy. There's not many on here. You can't see all of it though, so I have to go back. You can see the whole of the top though, so I'm gonna jump around a little bit, go up to the top here. I'm just procrastinating this bit because it's so big. There's so many to do. What's rather good, oh, there's a train going by. What's rather good about making videos is that I can't get distracted. Often when I'm colouring, I'll just read the news, check my email, do this, that and the other. Whereas if I'm making a video, I can't stop. So it's really, really good. So it really helps me to focus in on what I'm doing and just get on with it. And I've got a few videos to do soon of projects that I need to do for me, and I thought I would film them for you in case you wanted to have a go. So I've got a card that I'm going to do, which is taken, the picture is from one of Johanna's free downloads, and I make it into a card, and I need to get going with that really. And it is a picture I've done before. It's the one from Flourish with the heart, but I'm going to do it in a completely different way, so I thought it might just be interesting to show you. And then I've got Christmas gift tags to do, and I thought I'd show you a few of those. And the although they're quite intricate, I haven't really thought about how I'm going to colour them. They're very fine, so we'll see what I decide with those. I'm going to move it across so you can see all of it, and then I won't forget to move it next time. So I've got a few little projects to do. Actually yesterday I recorded a few Christmas videos, but before I did this one actually, because I'm really not sure when to start putting Christmas stuff up, but I just fancied doing a little bit from Johanna's Christmas, which is really naughty because I've got Secret Garden to finish first, and I've got one whole page, and then I'm in the middle of a double page, and when I finish that I will finish the whole book. So I need to finish that really and do a flip through for you. And I thought, I'm so excited by doing the flip through, and also I'm going to do a second flip through which I may have to do on this table with my great big tripod, and film both books so you I can compare the pages. So I'm going to do that. I think I've spoken about that before on here, so I'm definitely going to do that. So there'll be 2 more videos there, and they'll come before Christmas stuff, I think. So maybe I'll just finish this one and then get my book finished and do the flip through, and then move on to a few Christmas bits. But I did want to do the kettle from this book, but we'll just have to see how the time goes. I've also saw that Johanna put on, I think it was on Facebook, that something like, who would like an advent calendar? Now that was a very exciting prospect, and that might give us all a lot more to colour and enjoy. So we'll see whether she comes up with something where that's concerned. Actually, when on her main website, on her blog pages, you can sometimes find downloads and things like that, and there is actually an advent calendar on there, but it's not really a colouring calendar. Right, we're going to do the birds now, but it's there are some lovely images for Christmas. Okay, so I'm looking at my greys and blacks. I'm going to go for my dark grey number 8 first, and just start the bottom here. I'm not going to press very hard. In fact, I might just go over the whole bird in this colour and then do some shading. So yes, she's got some lovely images, and some of them you can actually colour. There's quite a lot of black in some of them, because she, as I say, she didn't intend them for colouring, but you can still use them. I think I did some one year. I'm not sure if I did them as gift cards or not. There we go. So I don't know if you saw what I did, but I'll talk you through the, we've got some feathers here actually to do. Now these are quite small. Again, I'm going to do a light layer all over in this grey. I think I might just stick to using this grey, and I'm going to make it a little bit darker at this end, in the same way I have with the leaves really. Just a light layer and then a few more layers here. Okay, now we've got this bird. Let me straighten him up for you. So I'm going to do the same again. It's interesting, he's the same as the bird on the scarecrow's head on the facing page. I wonder if Johanna draws them really similarly, or whether she cuts and pastes them. I know what I do, but maybe Johanna wouldn't. Right, there we go. So I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm just adding an extra layer of dark grey in the areas where I want it to be darker, and this feather will do the same as the others, so going all the way over it in grey, and then it's this end, darken up a bit. We've got our last little bird hanging out down here. Sorry, I'm trying to hold the book straight, but it's hitting the tripod. And we'll just again all over in the light grey. Now I'm going to do his beak a bit darker, and his legs if I can see them. There we go, and then under here an extra layer of colour, just because of the shadow underneath, and a bit more on the tail and on the end of the wings. There we go. So that's all the leaves and birds finished. I should just zoom out, sorry. I really need to work out which button's which, don't I? So I'll zoom out so you can see. There it is. It doesn't want to stay open. And I'm going to close there, and my next video I'm going to do the pastel background. So hopefully you'll tune in for that one. That will be released tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching, and happy colouring.